यो व्हाट्सअप गाइस, कैसे हैं सभी लोग। वेलकम बैक अगेन। हम आ चुके वापस लाइव। सब बढ़िया। सब बढ़िया है क्या? आई एम ग्लैड टू सी यू ऑल हियर ब्रदर। आई एम ग्लैड सी यू ऑल। तो गाइस, कैसा है आप? आज हम करने वाले हैं EWC की वॉच पार्टी ग्रैंड फाइनल्स वन। अपनी टीम बेशक बाहर होगी, बट अपन लाइव तो करेंगे यार। टाइम मिल रहा है तो कर रहे। टाइम नहीं मिलता तब नहीं करते। नेक्स्ट भाई भी अपने लैब बैठे। नेक्स्ट भाई अपने लाइव बैठे। नेक्स्ट एक सेकंड, लाइव पे चले। एक सेकंड रुको। आ, भाई तो बताओ, सब बढ़िया। तो गाइस, हम आ गए लाइव। आज बढ़िया, बिल्कुल बूम बाम कर देंगे आज तो। जल्दी जल्दी लाइव साइट्स में जाओ और हेलो हाय। टीम, जिस टीम को सपोर्ट कर रहे हो आप, उस टीम का नाम लिख दो प्लीज। जल्दी फटाफट से जाओ और लिख दो। ओके, तब तक ले। अब आप, आपको कुछ नहीं। गाइस लाइव पे चले, सीधा लाइव चलते हैं। ठीक है, एक सेकंड रुको फिर। अब एक सेकंड रुको। चैट जीपीटी आ गए। आ गए लाइव, आ गए। लाइव चल गए। एक सेकंड रिफ्रेश कर लेते हैं। um, 180p पावर के गाइस, ये बंदे पे के वो आ गए। पप्पा जी, डैडी, नमस्ते डैडी। डैडी जी नमस्ते। डैडी जी, ओ डैडी, डैडी डैडी नमस्ते। चाय पी लो। तो गाइस, मैं ये बोलना चाह रहा हूँ कि पहले तो मैंने एक चीज चीज करनी को मॉनिटर हो। बढ़िया। हाँ तो अब ठीक है ना। ये जो है इसको फुल स्क्रीन कर दो। ऑल्ट प्लस टैब पे जाओ। हाँ अब बढ़िया है। अब बढ़िया है, मतलब सेक्सी एकदम। वापस सीधा चलते हैं। To allow it to grow as a hobby. What the fuck भाई, क्या बात चल रही है भाई, अपन भी जरा।
الدراسة مرات الدراسة ما تواكب الهواية. تشوفه يوصل إلى
ओ ब्रदर,
مرحلة
ये कौन सी
يكون
लैंग्वेज बात कर रहे हैं?
مهندس ولكن تبقى هوايته فلان شيء، فما يتوفق بعمله الاختصاصي. ولكن عندما يكون الاختصاص مع الهواية يكون هو الأفضل وينجح الابن إن شاء الله. أنا أقول لابني الحجي إن أنا فخور بيك وبلعبك وبإمكانياتك، وأتمنى أن تتطور أكثر وأكثر. يمكن كنت غلطان بأن الشجاعة ليس فقط بالفوز ولكن بعدم الاستسلام.
Vin Diesel.
A beautiful bond that transcends everything here in PUBG Mobile, and there's many like it throughout PUBG Mobile as well. You know, at home, all of these families watching their combatants, watching their sons try and find themselves a spot and become the PMWC champion here. A touching piece, gentlemen.
It really is, and I'm hoping that with all of this that we have put behind that amazing piece, that Power will actually be able to convert and show what they were able to do in survival stage. Because that team, I mean, they ended up surprising me how much they could just change from one stage to the other from just a one-day break.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Al-Haji in particular, this guy has been playing PUBG Mobile Esports for years now. He's been on top of his region in MENA. It would mean the world to him if he can finally claim an MVP award here at PMWC. And if anyone can do it from this region, Al-Haji is the man that can make it possible.
He's definitely got a lot to think about when it comes to, you know, his father supporting him at home alongside the huge prize pool that is available here for PMWC as well. As we mentioned prior, $1.7 million with $500,000 for that first place. All of these teams competing for that. And this, again, we've mentioned the big heavy hitters coming out of the group stage. Obviously, I mean, our Chinese teams here as well coming on in to try and get themselves towards the front. Weibo as well as Thunder Talk looking hit and miss in some scenarios. I think they really need to solidify their play to become the champion here.
The biggest surprise for me, I expected Weibo to be here. When it came down to Thunder Talk, I think I was expecting Thunder Talk to end up going to survival stage. Just based on what we've seen out of this team in the past global events, they always come in with a lot of hype. They always come in with just everybody thinking that they're going to smash through the lobby, but that's not the case. But for this event, it seems like they might actually be bringing it.
Right.
That could be happening. I mean, ever since Nova Esports, years ago, where they got the back-to-back PMGC championship, we've never really seen a Chinese team dominate in these globals. And now, looking at Weibo specifically, you have Suk, you have Order. They could be the ones to take it back over to China.
Yeah, they've got to step back up from former glory for sure here. Well, we do have Neptura and Blank on stage ready to go, so let's hear from them before we get to the grand finals.
We're here in the beautiful Qiddiya Esports Arena where the survival stages and group stages just took place.
Yeah, at the end of the survival stage, we had 8 teams' keys crushed in this beautiful machine we got in front of us right here. And at the end of the finals, we have 15 more to be done.
An absolutely terrifying contraption, which I'm sure you'll see more of in the future.
Yeah, but thinking about those finals, we do have a brand new format coming to PMWC Blank.
We do. It will be the smash ruling. It will be the day 2 scoreline of our top team plus 10, and once you hit that, that will be match points. So let's say you end day 2 on 100 points, day 3 you hit 110. You're ready to go. You're going to hit that smash ruling if you get that chicken dinner online. But not to worry.
Not to worry indeed, Blank. If that doesn't happen, the top team at the end of those 6 matches on day 3 will be crowned our PMWC champions.
We're going to head over and check out some of those storylines because the competition was absolutely fierce. But let's take a look in with Ida.
I think them coming in and actually booting out Regnum Karya down to the survival stage for Ida, I feel like that really is just based on the consistency they were able to achieve over the group stage. We saw Regnum Karya not be able to hold up to the standard that Ida was putting forward, especially in the last day when they were able to just come in with a lot of eliminations, a lot of consistency through there. So again, Ida just able to come out on top.
Merhaba, ben Eren. Oyun nikim Eren 7. İda Espor'da oynuyorum. 17 yaşındayım. Türk takımlar arasında en az deneyimli olarak biz son maç aldığımız puanla zaten çıktığımızı biliyorduk. Ama böyle biraz daha sıralarda bekliyordum ben. Yine 8. olarak bitirdik. Yani öyle bayağı iyi hissetmiştik kendimizi. Bence Türkiye bu konuda bayağı yani üst seviyelere çıktı. Artı Avrupa olarak da çıktık. Türkiye'nin ve Avrupa'nın prestijini arttıracağını düşünüyorum.
Even though all 3 Turkish teams did make it to the grand finals, I still have concerns about whether they are a true contender against a lot of the other teams in the finals, just because the consistency with a huge amount of points just wasn't there over the various stages we saw all those teams in. For Ida, I think they have a very good chance of of proving me wrong, but at the same time, I will be watching to see kind of how they adapt to the finalist teams. I think if EDA play similarly to how they played in the group stage, I think they have a huge chance of doing very, very well in the grand finals. I personally would just like to see them be a little bit more dominant to add to that foundation already.
Oyun planımız yine aynı olacak. Yani son alanlara doğru yaşayıp son alanlarda agresif oynayıp killi son alanlara toplamaya çalışacağız. Finallerde hedef ilk 5 ama şampiyonluk içinde yarışacağız. Yapabiliriz. Yapamayacak bir takım değiliz. Finalleri bekliyoruz.
That's gonna get me in trouble now. Based on how they played in the group stage, as much as I enjoyed their performance, I feel like in the finals with all the other teams competing now, I feel like they're going to have maybe a 10% chance of winning.
Bizim takımdaki en büyük şey çoğu zamandır birlikte oynadığımız için bir tek Emre değişti. Ama aramızdaki uyum sayesinde bence oyunda nerede ne yapacağımızı bildiğimiz için kendi oyunumuzu sergileyebiliyoruz. Bizi destekleyen herkese teşekkürler. Bizi desteklemeye devam edin.
The question is, will EDA be able one lifting the trophy at the very end, or will it be one of these teams? Everyone has an opportunity. Everyone has a chance. We have ourselves 18 matches potentially to cross over before we do get to that thing, of course, to find out who's going to be our PMWC champions. That said, though, let's take a look and figure out look at some of these teams that are towards the top as we take a look at our Aramco power rankings as well between all of these teams, because we have some favorites, we have some contenders, we have some dark horses that might be challenging for number one here. So, Max, start us off. What are you thinking?
I mean, my champion team that I predicted here is going to be Horror Esports from Nepal. And when it comes to CSA teams, all the CSA teams could take it. For Thrive's Horror Esports, Alpha Gaming possibly. But Horror Esports, the reason why I did pick them this time around is looking back at PMSL CSA, they adapted their game style really well around the Smash rulings.
Yeah.
In particular. Sure, it didn't work out, unfortunately, because they got overtaken by Alpha Gaming. But teams that show willingness to change their entire game plan on the last day when you are in that Smash zone to try and wrap up the tournament.
Yes.
It hypes up a lot what Horror Esports could do here in these finals. So because of that alone, and also how good they are as a macro team, they're going to be my pick to win it all.
How many replies did you get to your prediction?
Actually, like genuinely in like the hundreds. I did not.
In the hundreds?
I did not open my.
So far here at PMWC, they have just shown me so much. The aggression that they have been able to showcase. If I do have to nitpick with this team, it's something that we've been able to talk over and over again, and it comes down to just their indecision. It's only happened twice, but it was very obvious, and I'm hoping that that's not going to be the case coming into the grand finals, that they're able to just go for a decision, make it, and just send it.
And the fact that now Noki has stepped up as the way he has done it in the initial stage of this tournament. Every single player is on the ball, and we saw them just a few days ago, actually. And the first question there for me is like, did you pick us, Max, man? I did not pick you.
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
Yeah,
so even they're on it.
Well, of course, some of those players have an opportunity to break some records. Some of these might be difficult to break, though, as we look historically at what's been happening here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. People like Tony K, 53 elims in these scenarios. I mean, those kinds of things are very, very difficult to try and catch up, especially 7, with the lobby getting more impressive and more impressive as years go by. It's hard to get those kind of positions.
I'm looking especially at the wins in a day. We have had so many teams, especially throughout this tournament, get 2 wins in a single day. I'm hoping that a team is going to be able to break that. I don't know which team is going to be because this lobby is just so stacked.
Yeah, at least Vampire can't defend their position up there anymore. They're not even
They're not here.
7.
Correct.
So that's going to be quite tough to defend. But I feel like we're going to have a few broken, but the records are so high that a few are going to remain there for maybe a few years.
Yeah. All right. Well, final thoughts before we really get into things here. We're just waiting for the opening ceremony. Max, aside from your pick, who else do you think is going to be able to ascend?
I want to look at Alter Ego, especially because we're going in Sanok, Northwestern Ireland. You know, you had that clash versus Thunder Talk. Is that going to be happening? I've heard apparently they might be going to boot camp. So if they make that change, I'm hyped to see Alter Ego play that position.
Oh my days. Seven, your thoughts?
It's going to be APG. Are they going to continue to make that mistake with the docketing, separating or not? Because if they don't, oh man, that is going to be a very dangerous team.
They are the only Alpha in our grand finals. Unfortunately for Alpha 7, they will not be a repeat world champion here for the World Cup. And now we figure out of our 16 teams, who is going to be able to take it. It is time for day number 1 of the grand finals here for PMWC, where one team will ascend to number 1.
The defending champions will not be going through to the finals.
Absolutely insanity.
This is a sad sight for Alpha 7.
Four Thrives on top again and again. Power has more control over the circle. Alter Egos are looking like the top dogs here.
Twenty-four teams embarked on this journey, live from the Qiddiya Esports Arena in the heart of Riyadh, fueled by ambition from all corners of the world. But now, they are here. 16 teams will land on one battlefield until one team is left standing. My name is Barney Banks, and I am your host, and welcome to the PMWC, and it is of course the grand finals live from the 2025 Esports World Cup. $3 million, one stunning trophy, and a legacy that will forever be forged onto the totem. And so, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming your finalists to the main stage, starting with EWC. Galacticos! Undertalk Global! Team Falcons! Team Secret! Shim Red Force. Alpha Gaming. E Arena. Weibo Gaming! Regnum Carrier Esports! DRX! Esports. Flux Esports. Alter Ego Ares. And finally, Hora Esports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is more than just a finals stage. This is a legacy in the making, so buckle up, because history is about to be written. It is time for the grand finals of the PMWC.
Every single one of these players, every single one of these teams has the opportunity to strike out at that trophy. Will they do it, though, across the next 3 days? We're about to find out. We're about to get the games rolling. Let the games begin as we start to break down what is going to be going on here for day number 1 of the Grand Finals for PMWC. Joining me, Seven, as well as Maxman, to talk about these phenomenal teams. And we have got ourselves an opportunity to see how it's all going to go down. Let's start with one of the names that really does come to the forefront when it comes to international excellence. Regnum Carrier. They didn't have the easiest of times moving forwards, Max, but they are here in that grand final.
Oh, finally, we've seen Regnum Carrier make it back into the finals. Of course, our reigning PMGO champions able to claim victory over there, and they're back once again. And let's keep in mind, Silas, one of the biggest storylines in PUBG Mobile Esports history. He won a PMGC. He's won PMGO at the start of this year. Could he take another trophy here in Riyadh at PMWC? If he can make it happen, he would be the only player in the world to have ever achieved that.
And for Regnum Carrier, it comes down to not getting complacent, especially they have a great day 1. From a conversation that I got a chance to have with Silas, he said the reason why they didn't make it to grand final straight from group stage was because on that second day they did get complacent. They got that win, they felt like they had already qualified, and they slowly just trickled down that leaderboard. On top of that, going into this lobby, when we get to Miramar, there might be clashing with Four Thrives. It's going to be something that we got to keep a close eye on.
In a grand final, I don't think you can be taking these kinds of clashes. You've got to be so careful when it's this kind of money on the line, when it's this kind of prestige on the line. And speaking of prestige, on the opposite side of things as well, a roster like Alpha Gaming, they're here in the final, Max. We know they mean business. We know they can win it all.
The only team to ever have 3 global tournament MVPs on the roster. Doc, PMGO MVP of this year. You have, of course, the side of Top. You have the side, of course, of Ziol that won over in Turkey the MVP award. This is a starred roster that can make anything possible. They still have some minute mistakes that happen, especially with Doc playing split. We're going to keep repeating it. But generally, if they can fix that one glaring issue, this team could be the best team in the world.
And it's not even Doc just being too split from the team. Something that they were running into group stage, it came down to them not being able to regroup in time. At times, Doc was being able to play it perfect, but then the rest of the squad was actually even further away from him, and he was able to scout.
Well, gentlemen, it's time. Let's get to it. Game number 1. Are you ready? Hold on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen, out there around the world. PMWC Grand Finals begins now.
And Kolaris has hit the nail on the head. If you are live in the arena, it's time to click those seat belts in, strap yourself down and be ready, because these games are about to be intense. For the viewers at home, you need to be prepared. 16 teams enter the arena blank, but only one at the end of these 3 days will walk away our new champion.
And you better strap in, because it's going to be a bit of a bumpy ride going through these next 3 days of games. Smash Rule will be engaged on that final day, but by no means